Jai Bhim to all of you. And thank you very much, Charunalka, giving my introduction. She said everything about me, more than what I am. And thank you, Anjali and Sandeep and all the team, t-shirt making team. Who's that? Michael, yes, who have done a great job. Yes, I enjoyed wearing them downstairs. Yes, and I'm quite moved that how you people are taking care of India and us, whatever we are doing there. And it's very important, actually, we feel that we are all in same Sangha. And so whatever we are doing it together. So it's that's definitely, because just I have been in 2 conventions here, and both the convention I enjoyed very much, and I saw the very big Sangha there, very big movement there, and we had many Indian people there, so it was very much enjoyed. So I'm just going to start a little bit about my story, just how I come in the Sangha, and from which background I came, and then little bit I'm going to talk about my work, a little bit about what I experienced as a lower caste or a scheduled caste, what Charunalka was saying. So I hope I am going to cover it in 30 minutes. So yes, I am born in North India. North India is actually quite very big country, and many states are there, and going one state to another state, it's like going one country to another country. Even in Europe, you can arrive one country to another country by train in 2 hours. But sometimes from one part to India to another part to India, to go there by train, it can take 4 days, day and night. So it's not that easy. And every state has its different culture, different clothing, different food, different language, different water. Everything is so different. So in that term, I was from very backward background, North India, Uttar Pradesh. Still, people from Maharashtra, they don't want to go to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. They feel, no, this is the place of gundas. So all the gundas are living, and anything can happen, and it's true. Anything can happen anytime. So we call it Jungle Raj. This lot of people can do anything. So it is, I'm talking about 25 years ago. It was 1990-91, and it was very difficult for women to do anything or going out, even the daytime. Still it is difficult enough, but it's changing now. So that time we had very big family. My father was there, who had 8 daughters, because my parents wanted to have a son, and it is very essential to have a son. Because son can take over your family's name, and he is important. And the daughter is no use, because she is the other's property, and she is, after the marriage, we have to have marriage. So after marriage, she is going to go to other's place, so there is no use. So it is very important to have son, so that they were very much trying to have a son, and in the end they didn't have a son, and they just ended up with 8 daughters. And it was very difficult for us to survive, because already my father was a very big drinker, and I can say that he had all possible bad habits at that time. He was a big drinker, he was smoking, he was eating meat, and all other things also he was having. And we were struggling a lot with him. And because they both, my mother and father, they didn't get well. They were always having a lot of fights with each other. And it was difficult enough. Already we were very poor. We were just living in a very small room, which was 10 feet by 10 feet. And in that room, always 8 people were there. Because my 2 other youngest sister, they born after my 2 eldest sister got married. So always 8 people were there in that house. He used to beat us. He used to beat my mother, and my mother used to beat us. Because it was very difficult. But somehow my mother just had this idea that she had to give education to her daughters. And because of that, she never thought of us that we had some emotions, or we are growing, we are a teenager girl, we have some needs, or we need her love, we need to be there with her, she needs to talk with us. So that was not there, that was all missing. It was very difficult for us. But still, we were managing. And just to tell you that my father was a very, very angry man. It's not that he is drunk or not, but he was very difficult man. He was always very angry. And if he doesn't like the food, he will just throw it on the street. And that was impossible just for us to be with him. He tried to burn at us at least twice. He tried to do that. It was difficult enough for 4 or 5 people to control him. But somehow we survived. So, but he happened to be the part of a Buddhist movement. Before that, he was just calling himself, politically he was calling himself that I am Buddhist. But we did not know what is Buddhism. And he was just trying, and we just thought because he doesn't want to celebrate any Hindu festivals and he want to save his money, because he doesn't have money. So that's why just he's calling I'm Buddhist, because Buddhists don't have to celebrate anything. So that was our idea, but we didn't know anything about Buddha. We didn't have any Buddha at home. But I was hearing little bit about Baba Saheb, and already I was hearing and experiencing the casteism very much. I remember some of my school some girls who were with me in my class, they used to not call me by my name, they used to call me by my caste when we were walking towards our home, and it was very, very humiliating, and I felt it very difficult. I remember another thing that there used to be a very old couple, and they were just running a small shop at their home, and just some biscuits or some small sweets. And when we were going to buy something, so she was asking me, that lady was asking me to just drop the money. So I was dropping the money, and she was just dropping and keeping that thing on the just floor, no floor, but on the floor basically. So then we had to pick it up. So that kind of things. Another experience, now I can speak reasonably good English, but it was quite strong for me. In nice standard in Uttar Pradesh, you have to change your language, or you can choose some subjects, and I wanted to take English. I was no good in English at all. I didn't know any words in English. But when I filled the form, so my teacher, who was a Christian, David madam, she just called me, and she just rubbed that subject, and she said, why you want to go learn English? So I said, just I want to learn English. And we were not allowed to even see like this. I was just like this and talking with her. And somehow, my mother was very determined that she wanted me to take English. And she came, and she took somebody's help. And this David madam told to my mother, why you are insisting that your daughter has to take English? She's not going to England. And that was, you can't imagine that I never thought I'm going to come England. So that was, many people ask me that how you learn good English. So I think that is my motivation. That was my motivation to learn English. That motivated me that I am going to learn English. Somehow she took me in her class, but she never gave any attention to me. I just learned English by myself and just with my efforts. So that kind of lot of experiences we were having in my childhood when I was a teenager. So a lot of casteism was still there, though it was more at Chandra Bodhi's time, but that was still at my time also, and still it is exist in India. People say that casteism is not exist, but it is exist very much. If you still go in Gujarat and you want to rent a house, first thing they will try to make sure that from which caste you are. They will just try to ask you in different languages. When even we are going in the train, so they just ask, we have this sixth sense that we ask people their surname, each other, and by that we try to make idea that from which caste this person belong to. So still it is very, very strong there. A lot of atrocities are having, and yes, sometimes the pictures are coming and I can't even see them. So just coming back to my life, that already we had very difficult life in our family, and this casteism was always there. But then my father, who was just calling himself Buddhist, and he happened to be a member of a Buddhist organization, So they organized a retreat, a small retreat of Triratna, and he went there, luckily. He took his bottle, he took his BDs there, so he thought that he can do all those things. And just, you believe me, that when he came, I think it was 5 days retreat, 5 or 6 days retreat. So he was totally changed man. He left his drinking, he left his smoking. I remember he ate meat sometimes because of his health reasons. But he left, and his temper gone down very much. Even sometimes if the salt is less in the food, so he was not saying anything for some time. But then the temper is temper. So sometimes it was just going up and down. So then he took a very good decision, a big decision. He had a piece of land, and we thought that because I don't have a son to take it, so he decided to give this piece of land to the Sangha, and he invited them to come there and to build up a center. So 3 order members from Pune, one of them is my husband now, and 2 with other order members. So he took very big step. He was so courageous, and these 2 other order members, they went with him, and they all came to Uttar Pradesh to start a center. They built a center, and they started some classes and boys hostel. And I was little bit interested in Buddhism because I saw my father changing, and I became very fond of him later on. And I wanted to learn more. And to seeing these order members, I was always feeling that these order members are just, I didn't know order member actually, I'm calling them order member now. But these people are always like that. And I thought all Maharashtrian people are like that. They were so bright, they were meditating, and they were practicing. And when we were going to the centers, so they were so generous to us, they were so kindly, they were talking with us. And I was thinking how people could be like that, because in Uttar Pradesh we are so rough and tough. Our speech is very rough, tough. Even simply if people are talking, you can feel that they are just arguing with each other. So that's like that. But they were so different. And I was thinking that they are just like that, they just born like that. But there was a order member in his robe, Padmavir. He was always meeting me, having communication with him. And he told me that we are not born like that. We just become like that by our practice. And you can also become like that. And I started to take some interest in that and started to go to the classes. But it was very difficult for me. It was something like 2 kilometers from my home to the center. But that time we didn't have any electricity, and classes were always held at night, 7 to 9, 9:30. And it was impossible for me to go from center to home. I had to either stay in the center, and it was difficult because it was the boys' hostel. Or sometimes my mother used to come, but she was not interested in anything. So it was difficult. But Padmavir told me that maybe you need to go to Pune to live in community. I didn't know anything about community, and it happened that Lokmitra came one day there to give a talk. And this Padmavir, he made a meeting, he arranged a meeting with me, with Lokmitra. He translated for me, I didn't know any English that time. And he asked me, he pushed me to ask him can I come to live in community? I didn't know anything about community. What is community? Are men living there, or women are living there, or together they are living there? And how I am going to do, I didn't know, but I asked because he asked me to do so. And I asked him, and Lokmitra said, okay, let me go back. And after some time, Lokmitra sent me an invitation that, okay, you can come to join the community. And I went, I traveled first time in train, 2 days in the train, and arrived there. I saw a public ordination there, and I was so moved to see that public ordination. And that time, and they were so young people who were ordaining, and I started to feel I want to have this kind of occasion in my life, and definitely I'm going to try that. And before that, when I entered in the community, our first 2 Dhammacharinis, Nyanshuri and Vimalshuri. So Vimalshuri was living there in community. She started that community with some other mitras. She welcomed me very nicely, very warmly. She was another person, means I was very much admiring, and I felt so much at home. And when I lived with these women, all the mitras and Vimalshuri, So I got so much love which I was missing back at my home. I never received any love from my family members. And I thought that actually I was going to go back, and I was having my exams in May, and I came there in March. So 2 months time I was going to have my exams, and I just came there for a couple of months. But then I thought, no, I'm not going to go back there. I just want to stay there, and that is it, what I was looking for. And I stayed there. I never gone back to UP again. And since there my Dharma journey started, and now it's nearly 25 years. That was 92 when I came in the beginning of 92. And since then I'm working in different projects. Many times I worked in Karuna funded projects. And now since last 3 years I'm working in ordination process team. And working in ordination process team, I'm enjoying actually all the projects working with women. I enjoyed very much. And now we got near about 750 women who have asked for ordination. And same number, I think it's the men. Chandrabodhi will talk about men more. And to just for them, all 750 women, we are 20 women who are working there, 20 women's team. And out of that, 5 of them are full-timers, and 5 of them are part-time people, and rest of them are just voluntarily working there. And we all are taking so much work we are doing. We are nearly every month I am in the retreat, and sometimes I am away from my home 15 to 20 days. So every month we got retreats. In the middle of retreats, we go to different centers also. There are many centers which are without order members, and many centers which have order members but only male order members. No Dharmacharanis are there. So we have to cover up for them. We have to take some programs for them. So each and every member try to go in at least in one center in every month. So, and for me it is more because I can speak different languages. So especially in North India, I can go there for more. So that kind of work we are doing. And now we got before we had Karunamaya from here, from England. And she is amazing. Since 20 years she is working there in all the difficult conditions. However, we Indians are living, and same conditions she is living. Now we don't call her Westerner, she is just Indian for us. Because if in retreat, if any retreat, we are going there and we are sleeping on the floor, she would be with us. So in every difficult condition, she is with us. So she has done great work for women. I think if I am not wrong, so when she came in India, so that time we were 11 Dharmacharanis, and now we are 160 Dharmacharanis in India. So it's, yeah, we are all very much grateful for her. Then we got Nyan Shuri, who is our first Dharmacharani with Vimal Shuri. So she is a public preceptor. And there was Vijaya, who is a private preceptor. And then luckily just few months ago, we got 3 new private preceptors. So now we got 6 private preceptors for all these 750 women. And it's not only that what we are doing in the retreats and just providing the retreats and the study and all these things for these women. It's so much changing the women's life as it is changing for me. You heard about my life, how it has changed. I know many women whose life has changed. I can just particularly going to give you 1 or 2 examples. So there is one woman who just came in general retreat, beginner's retreat, somebody told her. And she had some depressive tendencies in her family. And her mother died because of that. And then her one brother, he commits suicide in a well. He jumped in a well. Other brother tried to save him, and he couldn't save him. And that's why he also jumped in the well. And this girl, who was also having the depression, but she got married. Her father arranged her marriage, and she went there. And when these in-laws get to know that she is depressed and she is no use, they started to beat her, getting to give her a lot of hard work. And she is actually electronic engineer. So she's not somebody means who is just an illiterate person. She's an electronic engineer. But she was so depressed, and in the end they just throw her away from the house. They kept all her jewelry, what she got from her family, and she came at her father's place. And somebody told her that why don't you go to one of the retreat, and she came there, and she met my other Dharmacharani, and we both, this Dharmacharani, she told me about this girl, and we both met her, and we thought that if she is going to stay in Mumbai, she was from Mumbai, so nobody is there to look after her, and she needs some lot of support, and she can come up from that situation. We just saw some potential there, and we were just thinking what to do, and we discussed it later. And we invited her to live in Pune. We didn't know where we were going to keep her. We had just arranged somebody, some woman to live with her. And she came there, and she is with us since more than 3 years now. She is a Mitra now, and she is not only Mitra, she have asked for ordination. And she is so confident, and now she is working in a charity as a computer and English speaking teacher. So she is teaching other children. So it's that kind of change people can have just if you give them a hand and just you listen them. So there are many other examples I can give you how women's life is changing, how men's life is changing. Many times there are difficulties in the family, many times there are difficulties in husband and wife, relation difficulties, behavioral difficulties, and many times here people go to many different therapies also. But in India we don't have any therapies except the physiotherapy as per I know. So that is no use for that. But I think the Buddhism is very big medicine for them. And just to listen them, to share whatever they are having, and give them courage that what we got over or what we came over from the situation, the same is their situation also, and just to give them courage that you are not alone in the world who is having all this pain. Lot of people are like you, and they have overcome from that situation. And just finally I'm going to tell you a small story and just stop there. It's my very favorite story. It came from Karunamaya, and Karunamaya says that there was a old lady sitting near a ocean, and lot of waves were coming, and with those waves lot of fishes were coming out, and they were just throwing out lot of fishes. And this woman, old woman, was just picking up a fish and just trying to throw it in the ocean, and just picking up a fish and trying to throw that back in the ocean. And a young boy was looking it from far distance, and he was just finding it very funny that what this old lady is doing. And he came to that old lady and he asked that what you are doing. So that old lady said that I'm just trying to throw this because they are going to die. So that's why I'm trying to just throw them again so they can have their life back. So then that boy said that but there are thousands of fishes are coming out and they are going to die. You can't do them. You are so old and you are just throwing one by one. So how you are going to make a difference? There are other fishes who are going to die. So that old lady just picked a fish and she threw it again. She said it made difference for her. So that's we are trying to do. We all are trying to make difference in people's life. So that's it. And yes, thank you very much to listen. Yes,